Now Rugby Union. Too easy for England, not nearly good enough from Scotland. That was the story of a desperately one-sided Calcutta Cup match at Murrayfield. Stuart Cameron was watching.
Mistakes, a high penalty count and a woeful line-out display combined to ensure Scotland would never get a sniff of winning. Owen Farrell put England ahead with a penalty, and on 15 minutes Luther Burrell came in on the angle and took the perfect pass from Danny Kerr to score the first try. Farrell converted and added a penalty to give the English a 13-point cushion at the break. Within just 2 minutes of the restart, Ross Ford and Ryan Grant were replaced, one of several bizarre decisions by coach Scott Johnson. When Johnny May went full tilt at the line, Alex Dunbar stopped a certain try, but it cost him a yellow card for preventing release of the ball. While the Scots were down to 14, England scored their second try. Stuart Hogg couldn't deal with the challenge of Mike Brown, and the fullback went over to give England a 20-0 lead after Farrell converted. Johnson was not a happy camper. Scotland spent only 1% of the second half in England's 22. And despite good defence, the cup was always going to return south of the border.
Delighted to get the win. Always a difficult place to come, and I think there were chances there that we didn't take. But overall, the competitiveness of the Scottish side, particularly the breakdown, made it difficult for us, but we got the win.
I could sit here and pretend and try to tell a great story, but there'll be a lot of things. Are these the right players? I've heard it all before. Trust me, there's resolution in this group. I'm telling you, they're far from perfect. They're good enough athletes. They've got a bit of resolution. They're naive. Sometimes their school lets them down and puts them under pressure. But I think the majority of them can provide Scotland with a really competitive national team against anyone. I genuinely think that, and I'm not going away from it.
On the other side of the world, in the IRB Sevens at Wellington, New Zealand, Scotland's Sevens team drew one and lost 2 games in their pool before entering the bowl competition. They beat Spain and Wales to reach the final against Kenya. Borderers Mark Robertson and Gregor Young, as well as former Jed Forest player Darren Gillespie, were in the Scottish squad, with Gillespie scoring this try in the final. Struan Dewar put the Scots in the lead with this effort, but Kenya fought back to win the ball with this touchdown late on in the game from Horace Latino. In the big game in the National League, Selkirk were 17-3 up at leaders Boroughmuir, with Gordon Patterson and Darren Clapperton scoring tries, but an injury-time winner gave the game to the men from Meggetland. In Championship B, Hoyk YM lost heavily at Howe of Fife. Stuart Cameron, ITV News.